Welcome to Fortress of Faith with Tom Wallace, calling North America to repentance and revival.
Welcome back once again to the Corner of Truth and Courage. You're listening to Fortress of Faith. This is Tom Wallace. Folks, we've been in a fundraising campaign for our ministry, but I'm going to suspend that today because I have a very special need that I need to share with you here today. I've been telling you in the past a little bit about our life, and we are so blessed. God has blessed us in so many ways. One of our blessings is that we have 7 grandchildren, but we've also shared with you that we have some heartaches. 2 of our grandchildren are dying of a very rare disease. It's called Batten's disease. I'll explain what that is here in a minute, a little bit about our girls, Charlotte and Sophie, and their condition. But let me just explain why I'm bringing this to you at this point. We have been trying to raise funds for my son to get a bigger vehicle, a van that has a ramp to deal with the special needs that the girls have, to get their push chairs in there. It's kind of like a wheelchair type of thing. Certainly, we can all understand that children that are in a condition like I'm going to describe for you in a moment needs a vehicle like this to get to their doctor's visits and so on there, and just general transportation for their family. David's our son. He is able to work from home. We're thankful for that. He has a good job and has good insurance, and God has provided for him. He works for a bank in the call center from home, and they're very good at the time he needs off to be there for his family. He's actually trained as an actuary. He could be making big time money, but because of the needs of his family, he needs to, this job works just great for them there. But it does limit them, and one of the downsides is their vehicle. Their minivan is 18 years old, over 250,000 miles. It's not going to pass the next inspection test. It'll be dead on arrival, I'm afraid. So they're having trouble with that vehicle. So they need to get a new one. And he has been saving up as much as they can. But the fact is, these vehicles are very expensive. And our goal is to raise $40,000 for the vehicle that they need. The good news is, and we're so overwhelmed, so touched by friends and family who've responded to this, we've already got $35,000 raised for that. So, but the problem is, we're kind of stuck, and so we've got to raise just $5,000 to get to our goal. And if we go over the goal, that would help too, because these vehicles, this is just a used vehicle still, but they're expensive to get this kind of equipment. And so we're pausing our fundraising for our needs at the radio ministry here, but we're asking if our donors, if our listeners would help us to raise this $5,000. We need to raise it as quick as possible. That's why I'm coming to my radio audience to ask you to help us. If you want to give and if you want to support, just give us a call like you normally do. Our number's 1-800-616-0082. And of course, tell us, hey, we want to raise money. We want to help with the van fund for the girls. If you want to give a check, please do call us because we don't want to continue the fundraising if a check's on the way, but we don't know. So we do need to know the amount that you're planning to give. If you're giving by check, use our ministry address, but call us. Again, the number's 1-800-616-0082. So if you want to give by card or by check, feel free to do either way that you want, but please give us a call and let us know what you're wanting to help us with, and we'll be so grateful for that. Let me tell you a little bit about our granddaughters and our discovery of Batten's disease. We didn't know about this thing at all. Batten's disease is a rare disease. I think there's only 400 cases worldwide of the infantile version of it there, which is what they have. The life expectancy is very low, about 5 years usually. Charlotte, when she was around 12 months old, She was developing normally like any other girl. She was walking and beginning to talk and giggle, and you know how little girls are and stuff. But we noticed about 12 months in that she was kind of stiff when you held her. But other than that, you know, she seemed to have a normal development. And but about 18 months or so, she began to start stumbling a lot and falling over, and coordination was kind of, something was wrong. And COVID was around that time too, and so it was hard to get into the doctor and get tests done. Well, finally, when we got the testing done, our son and daughter-in-law shared the tragic news about this Batten's disease. And what it is, it's a DNA chromosome issue that's a mutation. And so if you have it and your wife has it, so if husband has it and wife has it, and you have children, you have a 1 in 4 chance that a child will die of it. Now, not every child that comes from you is going to be a carrier, but some will be a carrier, and at least one will die, about a 25% chance. Well, there's not a case like this where they have 2 children that are dying from the disease, and our son and daughter-in-law are this rare exception there. And what happens is that the brain usually has enzymes. Our body produces enzymes, and the protein that's in the brain is usually dissolved by these enzymes. Well, they don't have enzymes. The enzymes are not being created, and therefore waste develops in the brain, and it begins to kill the brain cells. And so slowly they begin to digress. And so we've been seeing that with Charlotte. They can't walk, talk. Either girls can. They are being fed by a G-tube. Their body doesn't know how to eat and swallow properly. Charlotte has lost her eyesight. Sophie's eyesight is diminishing rapidly, and so it's a very sad thing to see. But here's something I want you to take home, and I'm not sharing this because we want pity. I want you to see what God can do when tragedy hits us. I would love for you to read what my daughter-in-law has written, her blogs on what's good, her journey as a mother with 2 dying children, how they're handling it. And they chose. Now, of course, we all pray for healing, but we also know that in glory they will be healed. If not here, they'll be healed in glory. But even if they're not healed, what we do desire, what they desire, is that God would be glorified with their lives and how we respond to it. And that blog is so powerful. It's called trialsofgrace.com. Trialsofgrace.com. Write that down. Find a moment. If you don't go to the internet, get one of your grandkids to print off what she writes. Trialsofgrace.com. It'll touch you. It will encourage you. You might want a box of tissues as well. But sorry, bear with me. Sometimes it's still difficult to talk about all this. But it's been amazing to see the faith of our children. To me, that's been an amazing thing for me. It's something when you see your children's faith rise higher than your own and see them handle tragedy in a way that you wonder, could I have handled it as brave and as well as they have done? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. And I taught my family, I taught my church, the churches we pastored through the years. We would say, you know what? If we believe God's sovereign and that He's in control and charge of everything that goes on in our world, if we believe that, if we really truly believe that, which we should, I mean, that's what the Bible tells us, that nothing happens without God's order or design. Even evil that comes into our life and challenges and hardship, God permitted that, and there's a reason for that. If we truly believe that when our world is falling apart, we shouldn't be. But you know what? That's easier said than done, isn't it? I mean, it's easier to say stuff like that, but it's certainly another thing to practice it. But I tell you, it's been an amazing thing to see our kids practice that. What a joy that is to our heart. And I want to encourage you, read that blog, trialsofgrace.com. And if you have trouble finding it, contact us. We'll be glad to help you find that. And again, if you want to help us to raise this, we're just $5,000 away. I think maybe today we could raise that if you would help us. And so the number to call, and if we go over that goal, praise God, because these vehicles, we researched it, they can go used from $30,000 up to $70,000. And so we're trying to be, kind of in the middle of the road, and I think that will give them the kind of vehicle that they need and should last them for the time period that they need. And so if you could help us, the number to call is 1-800-616-0082. That's 1-800-616-0082. Again, if you want to give by check, please give us a call and let us know. But make sure you write on the check and the memo or something as you send it there for the Girls Van Fund. But make it payable to Fortress of Faith, because we will make sure that goes to this fundraiser that we're doing. Now, if you want to give online directly, just go to GoFundMe.com. That's where we've been doing the fundraiser online. And you will see grandparents asking for help for Charlotte and Sophie. If you just type in Charlotte and Sophie, you'll find my name, Tom Wallace, there, and you'll see some pictures of our beautiful granddaughters there. And so, again, Charlotte and Sophie, if you're searching online for that at GoFundMe. And or you can give us a call, 1-800-616-0082. And thank you for your love, your compassion. We've been on the radio now with you for 17, 18 years now. And this is the first time I've come to you with a personal request like this. I don't want to take advantage of our airtime, but we are struggling to get this final $5,000. I'm thankful for family and friends who've already given $35,000 to the goal. We just need help to get over the edge, and we thank you for your help. Well, that's going to be it for today. We're going to be back with you again next week, so we hope you'll join us again at the corner of Truth and Courage. God bless you.